Hello fans for Real Share Gang, Theris here, and welcome to a very quick Doctor Who Flux reaction-y thing, I guess. This is like my unedited thoughts, I guess. Okay. Um, I don't really know what to make of this. It was divided into multiple parts, so you had Unit being slowly infiltrated by this Grand Serpent guy and basically evading capture, and it goes through like the origins of Unit. Obviously, Kate Stewart was there. You had the plot of Yaz, Dan, and Jericho trying to figure out basically what like the date was for the universe ending, and they meet up with Williamson. At least we know Williamson's purpose now, so that's cool. Although I still don't think it needed the 3 other episodes of build up that it got, because it was kind of the thing that everyone guessed that it was going to be. In terms of like other things, like other plot threads, so you've got Aswok. Aswok is Tecteun, as we all sort of as I guess we all sort of predicted. I'm a bit all over the place, to be honest. I can't even tell whether I liked it or disliked it, really. It was just kind of, I was just sat there, like I wasn't bored by it, like I was interested in what it was doing, but it wasn't, like my sort of reaction to the whole thing was like, I don't know, I was sort of nominal throughout, you know what I mean? I didn't like love it, I didn't hate it. I'll say this, it's very much what you'd expect like a Chibnall story to be, just on like its biggest scale possible. So you've got like all the different locations, you've got so many different plot threads going on. You've got Vinder and Bell's subplot, that factors in and they meet up with the Lupari. Obviously next week is going to be a sort of interdimensional war thing. Oh yeah, multiverses got confirmed in this. Like, there's just so much crammed into one episode. And this is kind of like the one thing I didn't want, where it was like, here's all the answers in one episode. I know that obviously next week might answer more stuff, but like currently, as it stands, they've just sort of crammed a bunch into like this one episode. And like the Sontarans make an appearance, and they're basically going to be occupying Earth again, even though we've already seen them get defeated. And like, I'm all over the place. Osgood got a reference in this. I don't, like, it's very Chibnall. That's like my big takeaway. It's the most Chibnall story to ever Chris Chibnall. And if you don't like the Chris Chibnall era, like I do, like I don't rather, then this might not have the effect on you that it would someone who really likes it. This to me felt like an absolute mess, but it wasn't like, I didn't despise it or anything. It just felt like a homogenous blob of content. You know what I mean? It's not something that really had any a strong impact on me either way. I didn't despise it, but I almost think that's worse. That my sort of overall impression was just, like, I wish I had more to say than just that. In fact, that's all I've tweeted about, like, my thoughts on the episode after watching it. Like, because I don't really know what else to make of it. It's bizarre. Like, so they're sticking with the Timeless Child thing, but then the Grand Serpent tattoo thing, that's also in, like, expanded media, a Time Lord thing. So is Grand Serpent a Time Lord operative as well? Obviously, we saw him use the snake thing. I didn't even mention the Grand Serpent, really. I might have done, actually. I don't even know. So much happened in this episode. I don't really feel like I'm struggling to grasp all of it. And I understand that people are going to be like, well, that's the point, you know, you're meant to watch it multiple times. But it didn't feel coherent. Do you know what I mean? It felt all over the place. And I'm not sure whether that's, I think that's not really having the effect on me that it's having some others anymore. It was cool to get the answers to some things, like I say, but I still worry that the finale is going to be an absolute mess, because we have to deal with the Doctor obviously finding her origins, or, you know, what happened to her pre-William Hartnell with that fob watch. You have basically an outer space war happening between every single species, and yeah, that's basically my thoughts. It was all over the place. I didn't hate it, but I just have no real strong bearing either way. Like, I hope that, you know, some people don't take this as, oh, he hated it or oh, he loved it, because that's not what I've, like, said. I just said I don't really know what to make of it. You know, I'm sure some people will already have fully formed opinions. I can't even process it. You know what I mean? It's like so many things happened and like there was so much exposition. It's as I said, a very Chibnall episode, and you know that's either going to really work for you or really not, depending on the sort of person that you are. For me, I was just kind of left bewildered by it, but not in like a this is bad way, but just in a I don't know what's going on kind of way, I guess. I liked the guy, the premonition guy, the guy who was like, oh, I'm teasing you. I liked him. He was fun. Is there anything else to mention? I didn't really feel like Jericho, like obviously brought him along for this episode. I didn't really feel like he contributed much. I feel like you could have sliced him out of the dynamic and lost very little there. Because Dan figures out the tunnel thing. Yaz figures out they're about to be blown up by, I assume, a Grand Serpent person. They used, like, in terms of, like, the actual, like, cinematography and, like, the way this episode looked, I've got to be honest, it's probably, like, the weakest on that front. Like, some of the CGI was nice, I'll admit. Like, when the snake was killing people, the Grand Serpent snake was killing people, that was cool. But in terms of, like, the cinematography, I found this to be the flattest of the bunch. Especially coming after last week, which I thought, cinematography-wise, was good. The effects on the angels was a little bit ropey. I'll also say as well, on that front, like, there's like 5 times they use the same boat shot in this episode, and it's really distracting. Yeah, I didn't hate it, but like, I just don't have an opinion. I think that's like all I can say. It was just a mess of stuff. It's kind of similar to episode 1 in a sense, but I felt even episode 1 had some more tangible things that I could grasp onto. You know what I mean? It had the origins of like Dan and like, well, not origins, but in terms of like the setup for his character and him wanting to work at the museum and stuff. I understood like what it was going for, and it was setting up, you know, that different species were going to use the flux to their advantage. It feels weird that we're retreading the Sontaran ground again because we've seen that once. Like, I hope that that's not a big part of next episode. I hope that doesn't like consume the plot. It's just all Sontaran related things because we've done that horse and pony show once already in this series. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I feel like I've said that about 5 times, but truthfully, that's just because I just don't really know how to structure this. Much like the actual episode, it was just all over the place. Like, we also got, like, Vinder being put in the passenger, and he meets up with Di. I also didn't like how quickly the cliffhanger to last week was resolved. Obviously, I understand it was going to have to be resolved at some point, but I was really hoping that the transformation into an angel was going to affect the Doctor in a more tangible way, rather than just being like, yep, I was an angel for transport, and now I'm not. It was just like a split-second thing. I'm not an angel anymore. Job done. You know, I just don't even know. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below whatever your thoughts were. Please, for the love of God, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.